if the citizens of Jerusalem wouldn't play such a great part and would show this devotion. They are sometimes a little annoying, and you need sometimes good nerves, and sometimes you explode over it. But in fact, even when they do things that you think are wrong, and that happens not so rarely, they do all this out of their deep devotion for their way of thinking, for their way of life in Jerusalem.
Theodor Kolik was born in 1911 in a small Hungarian village not far from Budapest. But he spent most of his childhood in the city of Vienna. In 1934, Teddy immigrated to Palestine and became one of the founders of Kibbutz Ein Gev. Teddy served in a series of critical public positions for the nascent state of Israel. In the last of these positions, he served as Director General of the Prime Minister's office. During this period, he took upon himself the creation of a national museum in Jerusalem. At the festive opening ceremony, in the presence of the President of the State of Israel, artists and dignitaries, the Israel Museum opened in Jerusalem. The visionary behind this idea and the living force who drove the establishment of the museum, Mr. Teddy Kolik, said at the opening ceremony that in order to receive the greatest and most important works of art, we needed to build them a real home, the best of all. The best of all was Teddy Kolik's work ethic. In everything he built and did for Jerusalem, he tried to do the best of all. When Teddy celebrated the opening of the Israel Museum, he had no idea, and if someone had told him, he would have laughed, that within a very short time, he would become one of the next builders of Jerusalem, and the greatest contractor that the city had known since Herod. In a random and breathtaking moment that happens from time to time in history, Teddy Kolik became mayor of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, a small and poor city surrounded by fences and landmines, was definitely not the heart's desire of a public servant. I didn't know anything about the work of the mayor, and I also didn't believe I had any chance at all, he said, and cursed those who sent him on his mission. And then he committed himself to the election campaign. When the votes were counted, Teddy Kolik, a man of broad horizons, charm, and optimism, found himself mayor of a stormy, complicated, and tense city. For a year and a half, Teddy worked hard to get more budgets and to clean up the litter. It is hard to say that he was happy in his new job. And then, the Six-Day War broke out.
ברגע זה אנו עוברים את שער האריות. הר הבית בידינו, גם תלמיד, הר הבית בידינו. זו עיר אחד, ולא קשה לאחד אותה.
This is one city, and it is not hard to unite it. We just had to open the roads. We just had to take down the big walls, and behold, the city is one. The city was united, and the rest is history. Under Teddy's leadership, the city went from a sleepy town to a huge metropolis. The linchpin neighborhoods link Mount Scopus to the western part of the city, and the ring neighborhoods create continuity around the city center. As the new neighborhoods grow, Teddy reconstructs and restores old neighborhoods. Yamin Moshe and Nachlaot get serious facelifts, and the Jewish quarter in the old city is rebuilt. Teddy tries to advance equality among the different populations of the city, Christians, Muslims, and Jews. He advances the approach that Jerusalem is holy to all three faiths, and that each one has a place here. Living side by side, but not encroaching on each other. He said this, and he did it. He builds connections with leading figures from all religions, gains their trust, and moves forward with them to unexpected horizons. Teddy, a man who knew how to make friends and make each one feel special, connects the who's who of the world to Jerusalem. Artists, musicians, film stars, also presidents and heads of state. They enjoy his company, and he knows how to walk among them.
I feel mainly New Yorker because of all the monies I raised there. And I have a clear understanding with Mayor Koch. She can't raise any money here, but I can raise money there.
The Jerusalem Foundation, the foundation that he established after his election, becomes a vehicle for building the city. The foundation connects donors to projects and sets up a series of cultural institutions throughout the city. In the Tower of David, the foundation establishes the Museum of the History of Jerusalem. In Museum Row on Givat Ram, the foundation establishes the Bloomfield Science Museum. On the hills of the Ben Hinnom Valley, across from the walls of the Old City, the foundation establishes the Jerusalem Cinematheque. Football is also culture, Teddy said, and the foundation built Teddy Stadium. In the Jerusalem Convention Center, Binyanei Ha'omah, Teddy establishes the International Book Fair. And the first building in Jerusalem that was built outside the old city walls, Mishkanot Sha'ananim, the foundation turns into a guest house and center for dialogue, ethics, and culture. The Arab Central Library, built in the eastern part of the city, and the Sheikh Jarrah Medical Center, just two examples of cultural and welfare institutions that the foundation established to improve the quality of life for residents of Arab neighborhoods. Coexistence in Jerusalem was a cornerstone of Teddy's beliefs. But Teddy didn't just take care of culture alone. Through the foundation, he established community centers throughout the city. Kindergartens, synagogues, old age homes, wherever there was a need. He put a special emphasis on the Green Revolution. Jerusalem, made of stone and surrounded by desert, had not developed a garden culture. Until Teddy. And through the foundation, 200 gardens, many with special characteristics, were created throughout the city. Teddy especially loved the Tish family zoological gardens that the foundation established. He kept his special affection reserved for the elephants, named after himself and his wife Tamar. All across the city, sculptures by foreign and Israeli artists were erected. But not just the aesthetics of the city were important to Teddy. We need to strengthen industry in Jerusalem. Less talk and more action. I think that in all these years, we have proven ourselves through action. Speeches alone bring nothing. Teddy always said that there is no promotion after Jerusalem, and always denied that Jerusalem was lucky to find him. I know that the opposite is true. I was lucky to find Jerusalem. Teddy knew that Jerusalem needs a protector, someone to bring comfort, and not just another prophet of destruction. There have been more than enough of these. Instead, he turned Jerusalem into what it is today, a flourishing city, young and vibrant. Teddy Kollek, builder of Jerusalem.